Hi, everybody. I'm meteorologist Joe Chaffee, and we have tonight's latest version of long-range silliness because that's really what it's become. I think we have to face a reality that this ridge in the southeast is just not going to go away, and we have it here for the weekend, so we know what that means for us for the next 3 days. We're going to have temperatures running almost 20 degrees above normal. Now, here comes that first system that's going to bring a cold front through here Monday night, and you'll notice that over time, we'll start it back through here. That system lifts up northeast into where the mean ridge position is, which is along the east coast. So it goes into that ridge, and it really just sort of falls apart, and you can almost barely find it by the time we get to Wednesday, when it would have been long gone anyway. And of course, up comes the ridge again. So the air behind this front is cooler air, and you go from being 20 degrees above normal to about 10 degrees above normal. And then we have the second system, which is going to bring in the cold air, and a little northern feature gets involved, but again, not impressive at all. Very, very broad. So this basically says a cold front comes through with whatever it comes through with. One of the big changes from yesterday is that we do not have a significant southern feature that's coming out. You can see that a lot of what's in the south just basically gets left behind and falls apart. And of course, once that lifts up, back comes the ridge, and now we're into the weekend of the 17th and 18th. Although the ridge is not nearly as strong as what we're seeing this weekend, it's strong enough. And then we have another system that right in here, but that's going to go to our west. And you start to see some changes in Canada, which we've been going on about on infinitum for so long. And once again, toward the end of the period, it has cold air. And you know what? I don't think you can give any credibility to any of this until we see something really meaningful happen in the long scale pattern. And it just doesn't seem to want to be. It's all fine and dandy every time we look at the long range beyond day 10 and see blocking, and we see all sorts of indications that the pattern is going to change. And this run is probably no different, showing it late in the period. But today's runs were horrible. They were as horrible as you could probably get through the long range. So why it flipped to this is beyond me. It has a very deep, this is at the end of the period, so to me it has almost no validity. It has this wrapped up deep upper cyclone over Hudson's Bay, would imply much colder air coming back in to some degree, but to me it's just almost futile to just kind of keep going at this when you still have so many things wrong. I'm going to jump. I'm hoping that it's in, because it's an interesting phenomena that I'm really just beginning to understand. So we're going to take a view of the world, if it's even up here, and I don't even see it. So the maps may not be ready. I was going to go look at the stratosphere and see what that offered, but unfortunately, it offers us nothing. I'll just instead we'll look at the surface map through all of this and just show you what it's doing. Here we go, and you can see that here's that cold front for Monday. We get a decent shot of rain and showers, maybe even a thunderstorm when that goes by, and the air isn't very cool behind it. This next cyclone goes way to the west, and it actually weakens as it goes up into Canada. See, we really needed that system to strengthen into something important so that it would at least bring in a source of cold air. It does have the next front with maybe some wave action and shows some showers here on Friday, little snow in some of the colder areas way to the north, big deal, and then gone. And then as we move into Christmas week, it has some sort of weather system around the 22nd, 23rd, and some colder air behind it. Again, transient cold air until we get toward the end of the period when there's something more meaningful in terms of cold air coming into the northern plains. Frankly, from here on in, I've tried to at least reason the idea that this pattern has to break down at some point. It's been with us for almost 8 weeks, and that's a pretty long time to be locked into one pattern. It should be long in the tooth, but this one seems to be a little extraordinary, and it might want to go for another couple of extra weeks. until we see some really meaningful indications on these models, I would take every run with high skepticism regarding a change in the overall pattern.